Hello and welcome to Smaulgld. In case you missed it, top gold, silver, and crypto stories for the weekend of October 14th, 2018. Trump steps up attacks on the Fed. Here are some of the stories we're going to cover. Post-Kavanaugh confirmation, the GOP confirms another 18 federal judges. The Dow fell over 1,000 points as gold rose. Rosenstein, a no-show at Congress. Litecoin added to Gemini trading platform. Yuan falls and China pumps the economy up even more with more cash. Hurricane Michael destroys Gulf Coast states. American pastor freed in Turkey. And Clinton and former Attorney General Holder step up the battle rhetoric, and Trump refers to Democrats as a mob, and Kanye West visited the White House during the week. Let's take a look at our stories. There's your Smaulgld mugs. Remember, Smaulgld mugs are hard assets, and you can buy them directly from the Smaulgld site. The Smaulgld Super Classic mug is $23.99 with free shipping. That's priority shipping. And the Smaulgld Classic mug is $19.99 with free shipping in the continental United States. Okay, let's see what happened during the week. Well, first of all, each and every night, please join us at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on YouTube, where we cover an event of the day or some type of story on the economy, cryptocurrencies, or gold and silver. And here's what we covered during the week. Why Wall Street needs and wants a crypto bubble. Will work for food. How to make money by losing money. Gold soars, lead silver higher as stock crumble. Gold, silver, COT, COMEX, Shanghai Gold Exchange, and U.S. Mint weekend review. And will the next Congress audit the Fed and impeach its governors? So please check out those. No time to go through them now, but they're all on this particular blog post. The weekend review, you can view them directly from the Smaulgld website, or you can go over to BitChute or YouTube and view them there, or real.video. Well, gold closed up at 1217.30, up from 1202, but silver actually fell to 1458, down from 1464 an ounce. Gold-silver ratio, as a result, rose to 83.5 to 1. And let's see some of the stories here. Global debt is growing, says the IMF, but so are values of public assets. I suppose that makes it okay. We saw that the stock market fell 2 days in a row on Wednesday and Thursday, well over 1,000 points, gained 287 points on the Dow on Friday, and we're all waiting to see what happens tomorrow morning on Monday. Will it be Black Monday or a rebound or a non-event? Well, the gloom and doom people were out during Wednesday and Thursday predicting this is the big one. We were so close, says Marvis Sarcasticus, I could almost taste the mountain house. And remember, you can put mountain house in a Smaulgld mug. Here is Trump meeting with the American pastor who was released from Turkey. This apparently is a big international deal, because you can see on the right, you have that looks like Secretary of State Pompeo, and then I think that's Bolton there also to his right. Now, in the wake of the Kavanaugh confirmation, we see that the Trump administration has made 29 new circuit court appointees and 53 new district court judges, in addition to the 2 Supreme Court justices, Gorsuch and Kavanaugh. And just recently, during the week, the Senate reached a deal on confirming 15 more judges to bring that number to 29 and 53, 3 circuit and 12 district. And that was a deal that Mitch McConnell made with the Democrats so they can go home and campaign for the midterm elections. So there's 18 new judges were sworn in, that's right. And there's more to come, supposedly. They're saying that if Trump gets the ones that he has in the pipeline done between now and the end of the year, he will have, in some instances, half of the judicial appointments that are currently on the bench. And that includes adding, I think, 7 to the 9th Circuit, which I think only has 29. And that's the most liberal of the circuit courts. So it would bring some balance there. And there's Mitch McConnell. Now, just a point. Trump is always talking about at his his rallies, why the press doesn't show the crowd, and he wants them to pan, and they never do. And I just wondered why he doesn't just put a big mirror behind him, and then people can see who's out in the audience. Now, during the week, we had this raising of the rhetoric from the Democratic side after the failed ability to stop the Kavanaugh nomination. We had Hillary Clinton say you cannot be civil with a political party that wants to destroy what you stand for. And she also said, well, we can be civil if the Democrats win either the House and or the Senate. So civility is conditioned upon being in some level of power. Kanye West met with Donald Trump and people lost their minds. You've probably seen that. I'm not going to cover that. And Hillary and Bill Clinton are going to launch a national stadium tour after the election. Now, the interesting thing there is it's good to see they want to get out there and put their points of view out there, but they're charging more than rock star concerts. I think the cheapest ticket price is $70, $80, $90, and they go as high as $700. We'll have to see if there's actually a market to see the two of them. Now, I know they did charge foreign officials and Goldman Sachs hundreds of thousands of dollars for speeches, but I think that was in return for some type of favors. I don't know if people are going to be willing to pay to go see any politician. I mean, Donald Trump may get lots of people to his rallies, but I'm not sure people would pay hundreds of dollars to go see him or any other politician. We'll have to see. Now, the polls are saying there's no Kavanaugh bump for Republicans. That's according to CNN. Now, we know in the past that these polls have been dramatically off, and in some instances are gaslighting. Well, there's, if you want to see Hillary Clinton say you cannot be civil with a political party that wants to destroy what you stand for. And then here's another poll that says from Reuters that Kavanaugh vote changes few minds in close Missouri Senate race. I'd have to disagree. I think in any red state where like in Montana, North Dakota, Indiana, Missouri, and West Virginia, where Trump won those states by more than double digits, I think if a senator did not vote for Kavanaugh, that will have some impact. And here is Eric Holder saying, Michelle Obama always says, when they go low, we go high. No, 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 no. When they go low, we kick them, to a cheering small crowd. Now, of course, Trump in the Iowa rally called the Democrats an angry mob, leading some people to now call Democrats mobocrats. And of course, I think CNN was very offended by the name, actually saying you cannot call people that are protesting a mob and do not use the, quote, M word. Hillary Clinton says that her security clearance was removed at her request during the week. And here there was another uproar over a Google executive. I think he mentioned F you all to hell. I hope the last images burned into your slimy, evil, treasonous retinas are millions of women laughing and clapping and celebrating as your souls descend into the flames, showing not just a bit of bias from a Google executive there. Now, also, there's this big uproar about Google and their meetings with China and how they're helping them create a censorship type internet. And apparently they have, I wouldn't say lied, but they apparently have not been forthcoming with the plans that they have for China. Facebook's taken down, according to Wall Street Journal, 559 pages and 251 accounts. Virtually all of them American because they consistently have broken our rules against spam and coordinated inauthentic behavior. I think some people disagree with that. I think they say they were targeted for their politics in advance of the midterm elections. U.S. producer prices rebound and wholesale inventories rise, so there is still a robust economy, but the CPI was lower than expected, and that actually let people breathe a sigh of relief that maybe the Fed won't be as aggressive in raising rates. So the core CPI missed. And now we're seeing, as a result of higher interest rates, slowing car sales, they're interest rate sensitive, and also slowing home sales will probably be in the pipeline, as well as home prices. Trump ratcheting up their rhetoric against the Fed, so he doesn't like what the Fed is doing. He says the Fed is raising rates too fast. And he has also said, In two different instances, the Fed has gone, quote, loco, and also has gone crazy, referring to the rising interest rates. He says, I think the Fed is making a mistake. They're so tight. I think the Fed has gone crazy. Now, when he was not the president, he was against the low interest rates, saying that they were creating a bubble. So you can't win either way. The Fed, if they lower rates and they're artificially low to zero, people will criticize that. Then, of course, they know that if they raise the rates, the Fed is usually ahead of the mark, and they raise them too quickly. They burst the economic recovery, and then they have to start lowering them again. They never seem to get it right. But he's saying, here it is, Trump doubles down on Fed attacks, says it's going loco. Trump's Fed aggressive rate hikes are a big mistake. And there he is standing next to Powell. And Fed President Evans says the Fed may need to raise rates 50 basis points above neutral. It's very interesting that the Fed is on this aggressive rate hike tightening when the rest of the world, including China, the ECB, Bank of England, Bank of Japan, are still very accommodative and very loose. Now, Trump's new loyalty test, apparently in the new USMCA, Mexico-Canada agreements, the former NAFTA, that Canada and Mexico are not supposed to make trade deals with China. So he's brought them into the fray in his trade battle with China. Tesla is still soaring high with a high stock valuation, I think $38-40 billion, and they have 143 days before creditors start demanding their money. Now, Rod Rosenstein, he's the center of a lot of attention. You may recall he's the Deputy Attorney General for Jeff Sessions, who recused himself from any matters Russian, and he's the one who appointed Special Counsel Robert Mueller to look into Russian collusion. He's also Mueller is also looking into whether Donald Trump may have obstructed justice in that probe, but keep in mind that Rosenstein is the one who recommended and wrote a memo that Trump fire Comey. Also, Rosenstein signed the last FISA warrant, the fourth one, or the third renewal, and he's overseeing Russian collusion. So he has a conflict, but the reason that the Congress wants to bring him in to talk, and he refused to do so, now they may have to subpoena him, is that he said that he wanted to wear a wire. He said he was only joking to catch the president in some type of loony behavior so they can invoke the 25th Amendment. Now, he said all this just around the time that he appointed Robert Mueller, so it seems there's some questions that they want to ask. Also, Trump had formally, a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, said he was going to declassify all these documents, including that FISA warrant, and then he stepped back from it, and then he had Rosenstein with him on the plane, and he says he's going to keep him. I think he's holding all of that over his head, Mueller's head, because I think he knows that he's seen what are in those documents. And from everything I've read, if you've been following the Russian hoax, so to speak, it really does appear as if it was a hoax and that these FISA warrants were based on the dossier written by Christopher Steele, which he doesn't verify, which Comey has said is salacious and unverified, and which apparently Clinton paid for through Fusion DPS, through a law firm. And it looks like the whole basis of the Russian collusion story, there really is none. And Rosenstein signed off on a warrant to spy on them for that purpose. And what Mueller has come up with so far in investigation has had nothing to do with Russian collusion. He's basically gotten Paul Manafort, former campaign manager, on some shady personal dealings, and the same with Trump's former attorney, Michael Cohen, also on some shady personal dealings, but nothing on collusion. So we'll see what happens to Rosenstein, but I think nothing's going to happen to him, and we're not going to hear from Mueller until after the midterm elections. Now, if the midterm elections turn out in the Democrats' favor, then you're going to see a lot of pushing on investigations into Trump's activities, his tax returns. If the Democrats don't win, then I think that's when Trump will flip the tables back towards the Russian investigation and then probably get rid of Rosenstein and perhaps even Sessions. Okay, there's a lot here on Rosenstein. Well, we're going to have to follow up. Now, Rosenstein didn't show up for his testimony on Thursday, so Jordan, Meadows, the members of the Freedom Caucus are probably going to have to subpoena him. All right. Dollar collapse. China to crush the dollar. Gold back yuan. Remember all that just a year ago? China was going to crush the dollar. All the gold pumpers were out there praising China, the productive engine that they are. United States is nothing but debt and worthless dollar toilet paper. Well, now China, the U.S. is concerned that China is continuing to depreciate its yuan either intentionally or through the market. They're now also saying, interesting here, something I've been saying for years now, the new petrodollar backed by U.S. oil and natural gas is the U.S. using force to sell its liquid natural gas to the world. And I guess the United States was when he went to see Merkel. He basically said, why are you buying your natural gas from Russia and you can be buying it from us? So if you need dollars, if countries need dollars to buy oil from Saudi Arabia, well, Trump has now been pointing out, what I've been pointing out for years is, they're going to need dollars to buy oil from the United States because the United States is now the largest oil producer in liquid natural gas, the largest producer of energy in the world, and soon to be the largest exporter of energy. So if you need the dollar to be backed by oil, it can be backed by U.S. oil. End of dollar hegemony. Ron Paul, yes. Now he's warning of a 50% stock market decline. It's coming. Remember, Ron Paul was predicting the demise of the dollar sooner than we think in 1982 when he was in the gold state, when he was writing for the Gold Commission, and then also in 2005 or 6 he gave a speech, End of Dollar Hegemony. Well, we haven't really seen that. Trump says China not ready to reach trade deal, repeats threats. Not much happening there other than Trump says his policies have hurt China's economy and he's got a lot more to do. And China's reaction, pump more cash into the economy as trade war heats up. China's yuan slump, it puts 7 as traders in target as traders boost bearish bets. And there was all this nonsense about the price of the gold is tied to the yuan and China is controlling the gold price. Nonsense. We saw finally a divergence in that. The yuan continued to fall, but the gold rose. For a few months, gold was falling with the yuan. It was a correlation, but it wasn't because China was controlling it. And now the yuan is almost in free fall and gold is starting to spurt up. They're not falling in tandem anymore. Mnuchin, Secretary Treasury warns China on currency devaluations. And finally, the United States is making a bold push to say it's China, not Russia, that poses the big threat, not just to the elections, but also to the economy. China legalizes detention of religious extremists. Now, this they finally have acknowledged, these re-education camps for Muslims up in the northern portion of China. And here's the Chinese stock sell-off. Chinese stock is down about 35% this year. China constricts capital outflows with eye on yuan stability. Shanghai index hits 4-year low as Asia Pacific tracks Wall Street drop. But some people are out there saying, oh, all China has to do is consume more and then it's end of the dollar and the dollar will be crushed and gold will go higher. Well, China's auto sales post biggest drop in 7 years, so I guess they're not consuming more. Let's see. All right, let's move into cryptocurrencies. I love when they have research. Juniper Research is warning that many of the metrics in the cryptocurrency world are pointing to a market implosion. It's all based on price. Former NASDAQ subsidiary executive joins crypto exchange Gemini's client service team. You're interesting. You're seeing a lot of people from Wall Street joining crypto firms. PayPal for crypto, up to 25,000 online stores in Germany may accept digital money in 2019, according to a new company that's set up designed to achieve that. Crypto hedge funds launchings are soaring to record levels. I think 1 in 5 hedge funds that were launched were crypto related. Singapore moves to help crypto startups receive banking services. Again, moving the cryptocurrencies into the banking payment system. Harvard, Stanford, MIT have all invested in crypto funds. Understanding the value of Bitcoin when it was $58. There is Nouriel Roubini. He was out. He's been bashing Bitcoin since 2013 when it was $58. And he's saying it's laughable. I'm not going to read this. He has a profanity-laced tirade against Bitcoin. He even testified to Congress. But here's another one. Former White House economic advisor Gary Cohn, who Trump called a globalist, joins blockchain startups. So we're seeing people from government, people from Wall Street, Silicon Valley moving into cryptocurrencies. There's the Shift card from Coinbase, where you can load your cryptocurrencies onto a credit card or a debit card and use them for payments. And if you're interested, Nouriel Roubini versus blockchain. This is the notes from the Senate floor. Cointelegraph gave a good summary of what Roubini was ranting on about to Congress about the cryptocurrencies. Now, Coinbase is shutting down its fund aimed at big investors, and it was pretty high priced. I think you invested the money, you had to have $250,000. You had to be an accredited investor, and then they would buy the cryptos and store them for you, but they're very high fees. So they switched over to this other thing where you can buy as low as $25, and they will buy you a basket of cryptocurrencies: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and Ethereum Classic. Now here's Bloomberg showing that the Coinbase transactions are down 80% since the fourth quarter, but if you look at the chart, they're actually up in the third quarter from the third quarter of 2017. Litecoin is now going to be on, starting next week, on Gemini as with New York watchdog approval. So that Gemini is the Winklevoss twins trading platform, and Bitcoin will join Zcash, Ethereum, and Bitcoin on that platform. And there they are, the two twins. They're also looking to get an ETF going. Global regulators say cryptocurrencies need vigilant monitoring, something I've been saying. Bitcoin needs blessing from SEC, says analysts. That could boost the price if they approve one of those ETFs. And there's more on the ETFs. They're saying they're looking at ETFs, and maybe by the end of the month they'll have another decision. Maybe they won't approve it, but eventually they probably will. All right, gold. I've been saying that the gold price is tied to gold ETF demand flows. If you take a look, looks pretty close to me. There's a pretty big correlation there. I'm not going to get into that at the moment. India, September gold imports dropped 14% on weak rupee. That proves the point. If you don't have money, the time to buy gold is when your currency is strong, not when it's weak. When it's weak, it's hard to buy gold. Very difficult. Here's an old story from 18 months ago. Silver shortage in the next 18 months. Well, it's 18 months now, and there's no silver shortage. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. Please join me every night at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time to listen to a live stream and ask questions and to make comments and to have a discussion. We do that every night, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on the Smaulgld channel on YouTube. Also, if you enjoyed this, please consider donating via PayPal or becoming a Smaulgld patron. The links are below this BitChute and below this YouTube. Or you can donate via Litecoin, Bitcoin, or Ethereum. Or please buy your precious metals. Not an investment advice to do so, but if you do so, you pay no more, no less than if you click on the links below from Golden Eagle Coin, Money Metals Exchange, SD Bullion, and you buy from there. You can compare pricing and shipping, and Smaulgld gets a small commission. So that's another way of helping out the site. Also, please get your Smaulgld mugs at the Smaulgld site, or check out the other Smaulgld branded gear. You can get fridge magnets, Post-its, pens, office supplies, and also a Smaulgld espresso mug or a Smaulgld travel mug at the Smaulgld store at Zazzle.com. Thanks very much for listening, and we'll see you tonight.